Hey guys, welcome back. Digital Gate Studios. Jeff here, Jesse over there.
What's up?
Guys, this is for all the couch potatoes out there like myself. We're playing green potatoes.
Ooh.
Goes out to all of the gardeners / green thumb people like myself that like to get their hands dirty doing yard work, but also like to play some Digimon cards. So for those of you who are wondering what you're going to do with the Bloom Lord restriction, with the Hydro restriction Ultimate Cup, this can be an alternative. Obviously, you have to make some tweaks for Ultimate Cup, but let's dive into the list.
The Argomons.
Argamon, just one of the best eggs in green. It's my favorite artwork of this particular. It's actually my favorite alternate art of like all the eggs at this point.
In
I love
green?
this.
Yeah, probably,
It's
right?
so cool.
Yeah.
When the Digimon becomes unsuspended, gain 1 memory, right? So it's really nice. Obviously, it's just during the unsuspend phase. Let's move.
It really punishes your opponent for not
It
killing
does.
your Digimon.
It does. It really forces your opponent, right? And then you kind of have a little bit extra memory compared to what your opponent's used to. Palmon, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 with vegetation, plant, and its traits. And 1 card with fairy and its traits among them to your hand.
Fairy
Yes,
too, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So it grabs you a vegetation, plant, and a fairy. It grabs you 2 cards. It's insane. I play a lot of vegetations and fairies because potatoes need fairies apparently. So it does a lot of work in this deck. It's definitely one of the best green level 3s in the game for sure. So this list is a little bit different. I do get to take advantage of some extra space in the deck.
Okay.
Where I can fit in this brand new promo Pulsemon that we should have got like 3 sets ago.
Yeah, we finally got it.
We finally got it. Security at the end of the battle. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then add it to your opponent's hand. It's like an option card in Security. It's just really nice. Benefits the deck. Gets those pesky, that game-winning swing suspended. And it's a level 3 that Digivolves for 0. So it's just good in this deck.
Gets you that rookie when you're bricking too. Yeah.
Yep. And next, just a floodgate stopper with the memory denying of the Terriermon.
Yep.
Big fan of this Terriermon as a 3-of. It's just nice. Does a good job stopping your opponent from gaining memory. If you're playing green, you got to play Terriermon. At least 2-of. I like 3, but that's just me personally. And for my last level 3s, we are playing 2 Palmons. So just start your turn, draw 1.
Yep.
I'm not necessarily crazy about this particular card. There's a lot of good options here, but I took inspiration from our good friend Basil, who has been recently featured on this channel, and he's been kicking butt at the big name tournaments all around. And he plays 2 Palmons in his Bloom Lord, and I'm going to play it in potatoes. So it is still a good level 3. Start your turn, draw a card. It's a vegetation, can be searched by Palmon. Does a lot of work. Let's dive into level 4s. It would not be potatoes without the Yakimon.
That's the blocker, right?
He is the blocker.
I remember that from pre-release.
He's a vegetation. So he's a 3K blocker, 3 cost to play.
He's level 4.
The whole point of the potato deck is to play him and this other level 4 deck that we have for free in the Potamon. Right? The potato. So these are our potatoes of the deck. One is a food, one is a vegetation. This is before you pull the potato out the ground. This is after you've cooked it up, had French fries, got your burger, etc. So I'm a big fan of these. And not only that, it takes you back to the BT1 days, BT2, BT3 when you play Turbo. Green, right?
1 cost Digivolve.
1 cost Evo, 6K attack, right? It's really nice in the deck. Yakimon, Potamon, 4-ofs for sure in the deck. This is just another fun level 4 for me. It's just 2 of the starter deck Sneemon. So unfortunately, it is not.
Security one?
It is the security one.
Yeah.
It's not an insect. It's not a potato. He looks like he'd be chopping those potatoes. Cuts the fries for everybody. Security at the end of the battle. Play this card without paying its cost, so it actually pops out of security. And then it suspends one of your opponent's Digimon.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
It's just one of those, like, I kind of had 2 extra spots in the deck where, I just really wanted to play level 4. And the fact that we have the Pulsemon, it doesn't feel like I'm forcing myself to play this. I'd have 6 Digimon that can suspend something when triggered in security, which is really nice. Last level 4, 1 of Arbormon. I'm not playing a lot of Tamers in this deck, so just a 1-of. Just have a Arbor for game. He's just really nice and peaceful over there, thinking about all the potatoes he's growing this year. And we're diving into our level 5s. Jagamon. This is my boss of the deck. This is the main homie of the deck. It is the BT12 Jagamon.
Oh, okay, not the early one.
Not the early one.
Not the gotcha one.
Our early one wasn't bad. The gotcha one. I've never really been a huge fan of that particular one, but this one is on deletion. Play up to 2 Yakimon or Potamon from your hand. So you can play any combination of 2 of these. It's really nice to do. Now we're diving into our level 5s here, or excuse me, the rest of our level 5s. I'm playing 3 more vegetations. So Jagamon is in fact a vegetation as well. So we're still sticking really, really strong to the vegetation theme for a reason, other than just the Palmon. We'll get into it in a sec. Cherrymon here, Digizorb 2. So it only costs 1 Evo, and you can, when this opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the target of the attack to one of your suspended Digimon.
This is the OG redirect.
Yeah, it's
other than blocker.
Yeah, so BT10, awesome when this card came out, just really did a nice job suspending things and making people kind of forced to do things. With Blossomon being restricted and the Argomon being restricted, both of those at 1-ofs, I was thinking about doing like a 1-1-1 split between all of them. But then I kind of realized, like, with the way that I've been playing this deck and the way my top end is set up, that I would rather have a redirection of their attack to prevent them from doing anything. So it adds to the control of this potato deck. Green potato control. So vegetation, great card, big fan of it. Let's get into our last level 5. So this is a BT5 Piximon that I have been a fan of since it came out in BT5.
Interesting.
Guys, it's a fairy.
Oh, okay.
It's a fairy, so it can
it's
be picked up by Palmon. It gets triggered by our fun little 6 that we have here, the Lotusmon. It is a 2-cost Evo. It is an 8k DP. It is just a really strong body. Synergizes well with the deck. I'm a big fan of the Piximon. Obviously, Bloomlord has its level 5s picked out and kind of set in stone, but you could argue playing that in the Bloomlord style deck as well, just because of the fact that Blossomon does have to go down to 1-of. Not saying it's, better than what we got or whatever, but Piximon, a lot of fun. Let's dive into our level 6. This is going to be our main level 6 of the deck.
Okay.
The
What does
Lotusmon.
this one do again?
Yes, so it does its best. No, I'm just kidding. When Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. That Digimon does not unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase.
Okay.
Opponent's turn. All of your other Digimon with vegetation, plant, or fairy, right, and one of their traits gains on deletion, gain 2 memory, and return 1 Digimon card with 3000 DP or less from your trash to your hand. So what I really like about this deck, or what this does, is then it turns these Yakimons that you played for free with Jagamon, or you set up through the course of the game, hard play, whatever, to where if you block, you gain 2 memory and you return a 3k to hand.
That's pretty good.
So it returns a lot of bodies to hand. The 4-cost Evo is pretty steep. I wish it was a 3-cost. I still think it would have been a fair card. It is only 11,000 DP, but it does make Piximon, Cherrymon, Jagamon when it dies. So, all of a sudden Jagamon on deletion plays 2 bodies and gains 2 memory, right, on your opponent's turn. Almost all of these cards, obviously the Pulsemon, Terriermon, Potamon, Sneemon, Arbormon are not triggered by it. Still does a lot of work. So this is where, if you're thinking about playing an Ultimate Cup, you would have to make some changes.
Oh, because you're playing 3.
I'm playing 3 of the Hydrussi.
Hydrussi?
Very, very strong card. Very powerful in this deck. It is searchable by Palmon. Lotusmon's a fairy. Hydra is a vegetation, so you can grab both when you see it, when it's flipped. When Digivolving, you can suspend a Digimon. Can be yours, can be theirs, whatever. All turns, what's per turn? Let's just read it since I've been a little bit. When opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, for each other suspended Digimon with vegetation, plant, or fairy in its traits you have in play, gain 1 memory. End of turn, once per turn, if you have 2 or more suspended Digimon with vegetation, plant, or fairy, place one of your opponent's suspended Digimon at the bottom of its owner's deck. So it's very powerful removal.
Yeah.
13k body's huge.
I've been
burned by that
so many times.
Yeah, you get it suspended with and then you have Cherrymon to redirect attacks into the Hydra. It just does so much work. Obviously, Ultimate Cup, I think that's restricted to 1.
Yeah.
So what you can do is you can go ahead and play 1 Hydra, 1 Bloomlord, since that's getting restricted as well. And then you can.
Bloomlord's not restricted.
I thought the Bloomlord was getting hit on the. It's not getting hit.
No.
Oh, then
Bloom's fine.
Play 3 Bloomlord. Some reason I had in my head because Blossomon got hit that Bloomlord was getting hit as well. So, but if Bloomlord does get hit, do a 1 Hydra, 1 Bloomlord, and 1 of something else. But let's talk about a top
Nidhogg.
And Nidhogg, there you go. Top end, that's green. A Quartzmon.
There you go.
I'm playing 2 of the Quartzmon. Just a big, bad green menace. Obviously, it is not a vegetable. It is not a potato. Even though
it's a Diaboromon.
He looks like a sprout that comes out of a potato when it starts, like if you leave him too long in the fridge.
An unidentified.
So this is our green garden control deck. It does a lot of good work, keeps things body suspended. You can then bounce them with Hydra. There's just so many things that are happening in this deck that Quartzmon makes too much sense to play.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of the Quartz in this deck.
Quartzmon was the answer for all the for the top end for all these green players.
Exactly, exactly. So let's talk about Mimi. 2 Mimis in the deck. Great green, one of the best tamers in the game. If you have a level 5 or higher in play, you can spend it to hatch an egg or raise. Basically, have another raising phase. Does a lot of work.
Essentially gives you rush too.
Only playing it as a 2 of. A lot of times in green, I like to play it as a 3 of to get that early aggression, get a lot of those bodies like you were talking about. Have like a pseudo rush because it came out of raising. However, I feel like 2 in this deck has been pretty good.
There's no way to turbo it out, though. That's
no way to turbo it out, unfortunately. And it hurts when you have to play tamers like that. 2 Grandel Soul. Just good removal in the deck. If you're noticing you have too many level 6s, you can go up on Grandel Souls, however you want to do it. I'm just sticking with the 2 of because I do have removal through Hydra. I have blockers with the Yaki. I do have a good amount of moves that I can make in this deck where I don't necessarily feel like I need to play too many Grandel Souls. Or you can take out a green memory boost to play another Grandel Soul. I'm just a big fan of the green boost. It just makes too much sense. All of my Digimon are green. They can all be searched by it. It really helps set up those big play turns when you need to crack the memory boost. So I'm a big fan of that. You could almost argue taking Mimi out completely, going up to a 4th green memory boost, a 3rd Grandel Soul, and then you could take out Arbor for a 3rd Snee. I might do that. This is one of those guys, it's green couch potatoes, like,
play it to fit your meta.
Play it to fit your meta, right? Yeah. However you want to do it. Last card in the deck, HPD, Hidden Potential Discovered. Had to play the 1 of green restricted card.
Goes in every green deck.
If you're building green, you basically build a 49 card deck with a 1 of Hidden Potential Discovered.
Yeah.
That's just how the game is right now. This card is broken. Does a lot of good work in this deck. So while this is not pure food tribal, because I don't have a lot of the Birdermons, right? I really wanted to find a way to make this Jagamon ability competitive. And I think this is the answer to that. There's a lot of fun green stuff. I hope you guys like this. Stay tuned to the channel. We got tons more deck profiles coming your way.
Tons. Yeah.
And let me know in the comments what you think of this deck.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right.